And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys an update on my FundedNext $25,000 account. All right, so basically this account was actually a one-step account. This means that you do not have to be going through two phases, right? There's only one phase, and if you pass that, you are handed the live account. So right in front of me right now, as you can see on your screen, this is a certificate from FundedNext, which you get after actually being able to request a payout, right? So I'm going to be breaking it down for you, as you know, I'm not quite happy with how FundedNext, run their company. All right, so if we go to the dashboard, this is what we can see, right? Of course, I won't be able to go into each trade and explain why I took this trade, this and that, right? But I did, give a bit of some explanation on our previous videos, right? If you're new here, be sure to watch that. All right. So there we go. I traded this $25,000 account, and as you can see right here, I made over 4,000, right? And when I actually requested this payout, I was expecting to actually get the full amount, right? And as you can see, this $375, what FundedNext does is, they give you 15% on whatever you make on the first phase, or if you are taking this two-step account, they give you 15% profit on the first and second on the phases, right? So if you make $1,000 in your challenge phase, they will give you 15% after you are now funded and ready to go. Right. So as you can see right here, the requested amount was $4,000. They sent me 2,000. I did reach out to them, to really understand, how they actually ended up getting to this figure. And what they said was apparently I was, not really sticking to the 1% risk rule that they have, right? So what they did was they actually took the, the other amounts. I think they took up around about $1,700. All right, so I did reach out to them to actually try and understand what happened, and that's what they said, right? I was over risking, and I should, keep it down a little bit, right? So after getting my payment, I then got another email whereby FundedNext was telling me that, they've actually banned me from the platform because of the way that I trade. So I don't really understand, how these people run their business, right? So, because at this point, especially with the reviews that I've seen on Trustpilot, it seems like, this is the same thing that happens over and over again. So, kind of makes it difficult for us, to actually put trust into this prop firm. Right, so yes, this is what they actually sent to me. One thing they do, or one thing they promise is, if you request a payout, they will make sure that you get your money within 24 hours. If they fail to do that, they'll add an extra $1,000. Right, so there we go. I got an email, telling me that the payout had been sent, and this is also proof of the money actually getting into my account. Right, so as for me, I don't think I will continue trading with FundedNext. And for those who have been, meaning to actually trade with FundedNext, I'm only warning you to actually be careful, right? There's other good prop firms out there. My best so far is FTMO, right? That's the best so far, right? As long as if you stick to the rules, right, that they give you, and they're not that crazy, right? And I'm also looking at funded pips, right? So yes, guys, this is the update on that FundedNext account. But at least, I got something out of this account before they banned me, right? So I'll just move on. But I don't understand what type of traders they want. Do they want losing traders or profitable traders? Because clearly they have a problem with profitable traders. All right, guys. So moving on, we are actually in a trade today, right? Which I also sent out in our free Telegram channel. And this was on USD CAD. This was on USD CAD, as you can see. This was the setup. So I'm basically going to explain that, to make you guys understand why, I had the anticipation on this. All right. So if we go to the charts, this is what we have on USD CAD. I'll just start with the higher time frame, maybe from the daily. I always want to understand what's happening in these higher time frames, because if you ignore, it will be a problem for you. All right. So this is what we have on USD CAD, right? I actually love how the market has been ebbing and flowing, right? As you can see, what we had right here, we had a drop, we had a base, back to the supply zone, and we had another move down, right? So as you can see, basically the market keeps coming to these sell zones or buy zones. That's one of the most important thing about order blocks, right? Order blocks and supply and demand areas, right? So this is what I saw today, because that's when I actually analyzed this pair. It was very, straightforward. What I actually identified was, as price was moving down, as you can see, we failed to make any higher high. The market was in a clear downtrend, right? So I was more focused. If I'm looking at these pairs, I don't really want to look too much far, or go back, and look at all this other information here, right? I'm only focused in what we have right here. All right, so as you can see from here, we had this drop, and the good thing about this drop was it broke structure. It broke structure, and it also took out this demand area here, which was also another clean demand area, because as you can see how price reacted to that. But in this case, this low right here was taken out, right? This low, meaning we now had a lower low, right? So for those people who've been watching, I always talk about how I use the fib, to confirm my trades, right? So basically, I take the fib from the recent high to the low, and I'm expecting to see a nice setup around the 50 and 6180 fib level, right? So if I pull up my fib from this high to this low, you can actually see that this market actually pushed back around that same region, right? 6218 and 050 fib level, right? So that was a very nice, you know, that was good confluence as well on this USD CAD pair, right? So if we look to the 2-hour time frame, this is what we can see, right? Let me just yeah, this is what we can see, right? So what we identify here is called hidden base. If you look at this, right, we call this hidden base, right? If you go to the shorter time frames, it will actually be something like this: a drop, base, drop. But in this case, you can't really see it here, right? So but if you move down to your shorter time frames, right, you start to see it better now. Oh, sorry about that, guys. You start to actually see it better now. If you move down, let's try move down to the 15 minutes and see if there's something more clear there, right? But as you backtest more, it becomes very easy to spot these hidden base areas, right? It becomes very, very easy. So there we go. This is what I'm talking about. This is actually a drop, base, drop, right? So if we go back to our H1 or H2 time frame, I think let us stick to the H1 and see what we had. Okay, so there we go. Right here, right, that's the area that I was actually looking at. So as you can see, what price did, price gave us an attempt to that high, or that supply zone rather, right? This supply zone right here, right? We had price tap into that area, and one thing I like about this that also gave me, good confluence was these areas here, right? As you can see how price was reacting. This move from this demand area, right? Price pushed down and broke structure, meaning this supply area, sorry, this supply area is actually valid. Why? Because this is the supply area or order block responsible for the break of this structure, and that is when I saw price come back to this area. Sorry, that is where I saw price come back to the same supply zone, right? So this was very good because it's in line with what we actually look for, right? So that is the reason why I had this bias on USD CAD, and I also shared this in our Telegram channel, right, which is free, right? If you're not part of this, do find the link in the description below and be part of the community, or you can just make sure you add this username. That's how you'll find our channel, right? Remember, any other channel besides this is not owned by us, so please make sure you are speaking to the right guy, right? So basically that's it, right? As you can see, price moved very good, All right, price moved very good, and the risk to reward on that was actually amazing as well. All right, so just by looking at this right now, I'm actually still in this trade right now, as you can see. And I mean, if we can break it down from the BTMM perspective, we can identify this as, you know, a peak formation here and 1 day of drop. Remember, this is our H1 time frame, right? Then we also identified another push to this area being our second level of drop, right? And then we pushed all the way down, giving us the last level of drop. You know, so when I saw this, I was very interested in trading this because I mean, this is exactly what we look for when we are trading the market maker method. Right? That's exactly what we look for. Right. So if we zoom in here, this is now our daily time frame. You know, just to make it a bit easier, this is what we had, right? As you can see, these are daily candles, right? These are daily candles. As you can see, this is 1 day of drop, second day of drop, third day of drop. Remember, the number 3 will forever continue being seen in the market. You know, so something that actually gave me more confidence here was as price was moving down, all right, price was respecting these supply zones, all right. If we come back here, price also respected this base drop area right here. So this is the things that I'm actually kind of looking for, right? Depending on the structure, of course. Right, so this is what we have in the H4, as you can see. Right, we can identify those pushes right there, and we had a peak formation and a reversal. So the reason why you know, I had so much confidence in this trade was I had identified 3 levels of drop, and what I was now anticipating is a peak reset. So in this case, you know, I didn't actually get it from the top, right? Because I usually just want to snipe it very, you know, exactly where it turns. But you know, if you do that, you need to have, you know, a strategy on, you know, how you can actually join or jump on the market as it moves in your direction. So very simple. This is what I had. This is what I had right here. At this point, I saw this market, right? First thing I saw was this 1350 crossover, right? Which confirmed the lock of this peak. And as you can see, we also have the 800 EMA, right? Just above that area, which is our 200 EMA in the H1 time frame, right? So very good. So what I saw was, as you can see, we had a drop, right? This continued going down. We had this move right here, right, which broke structure. Not really a clean break of structure, but it still counts, right? It still counts there, right? So this break of structure right there was one of, you know, the things I was looking at. And as you can see, price then started making its way back to an order block, right? Remember, I looked to take these trades at order blocks. So this was actually a supply zone, right? This was a nice supply zone, and that is when I actually entered the market, right? So as you can see right now, I'm currently floating around about 115 pips, somewhere there, right? I have actually taken some partials, so you know, this was actually a good trade. All right, guys, hope you guys have learned something from this video. Don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, and share with your friends. Be sure to join our Telegram channel for free signals, free setups, and more educational content. Find the link in the description below. Cheers.